I did not expect to see this news today. I'll be honest, man. It's good. It's really good news. We got Dario. Bruh, I mean, hey. I think we still need a little bit more, but I think this is a good step. This is a good step.
It's a great step, though.
Andre's not excited. Nah, it's just that, it would have been cooler in the moment. I can't fake it, honestly. I can't fake it. All right, let's see this. But he's a good player. He's a pretty solid player, and I think for us, he's a good system fit. If you look at his skill set, he can put the ball on the floor. It's underrated part of his game. He's really skilled around the basket. Can make some plays, attack closeouts. Like he has a really good. Someone said Reggie Bullock on the buyout. Yeah, that's a name that I've thought about for sure.
I wouldn't be opposed to that, bro.
Absolutely.
You're getting some decent defense here and there, and some 3-point shooting whenever he's ready.
Hey y'all, what do you guys think about our margin of error now compared to last year or even the season before with the additions to the roster?
I think it's increased for sure. I mean, we signed. Kojo's solid, obviously. But I think more so the Saric signing is gonna be really good because I would argue that Saric is on the Dante tier of signing, and mind you, that doesn't include like GP2 improving. That doesn't include Wiggins playing more games, Steph not getting hurt. Our margins are going to be better. I think if we're healthier, which I think we will be, I think if Kuminga takes a step, our margins are way better as well. And then, most importantly, like we just got to be connected. As long as we're connected, I think we're fine. And that was kind of the biggest like flaw last season was we just were not connected at all, not to the level we should have been. So my hope is that this season, we're much more connected and we're much more solid from a playmaking, from just a team building standpoint. Like there's still more we have to be able to put together. And I don't think this roster is necessarily done by any means, but I do think that we're in a position where we have much better lineup versatility and combinations we can go to. That's a big deal. Like we just didn't have enough of that last year. We just didn't have enough versatility, combinations, and kind of, the ability to just throw a stretch 4 out there, a stretch 5 that could be reliable. We just didn't have it. And it was a shame because if we had that against the Lakers, I think it could have been a different story, but just didn't happen. So this season, though, we addressed a couple of needs. We addressed a couple of things. So this film is going to be good because we can see, and you see his ability to catch and shoot right away. That's a big deal. His shooting actually is very good. He's one of the more efficient big man shooters in the NBA. Saric is catch and shoot, especially above the break. He can shoot the ball really well there. Look at that. Puts the ball on the floor, gets to the rim. That's something that, JaMychal wasn't able to do necessarily, right? Put the ball on the floor, get to the rim. Look at that. Good activity.
Saric is more skilled.
Oh, for sure.
Belly wasn't able to do that either, though. Not at this level.
Yeah, Belly could put the ball on the floor a little bit, and he could shoot it, but I think his defense and rebounding was just a little bit subpar. But then again, I think Saric is better than him defensively. I think next to Draymond, he'll be even better. Like, he's kind of like a wing big hybrid. It's like he's kind of an interesting...
Look at how he's moving. Like he's basically a point forward out there.
Exactly. Yeah, he's a very interesting frame, and he has a very interesting skill set. For a big, like he can post up. Yeah, make
Now,
decisions. Like,
now, Dre, we got two big guys that can start the break when they on the court together. You got Draymond
yeah,
and Sarge. When they can start the break.
it's true. And they can
Look
make
how
plays.
good he is off ball, and not just for pass or not just for shot, even for pass.
Good pass.
See what I mean?
Yeah, no, and yeah, what I think the biggest CC right there, putting the ball on the floor. That to me is the biggest like skill set. I think even more than his shooting, because we just need a guy that can put the ball on the floor and make decisions, and his ability to do that is actually really good. It's a great pass right there. Great pass.
Dario Saric there defensively for Phoenix, and now trying to
good steal right there. How many players do we have that could actually make Santi Aldama pay? Like, for real, like, his ability to just post up, be a body at 6'10", right there, he puts the ball on the floor, gets to the rim, all the way in transition, little DHO. Yep, that's nice. I mean, this is stuff that really, in our system, I think he could be really good for us. And his slashing, you see a little bit of his slashing here.
Chance to visit with George Carl here in a little bit as Biombo gets the next bucket. He had some big ones in the last game the Suns played him, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, he and Koloko really.
That's a great cut. That's a great cut. Yeah, off the ball, I think he's actually, like, if you watch him off the ball, he's actually really good. He's a very positive off-ball player. Yep, look at that right there. Look at that. One-handed little over the head.
Hey Dre, if this is the kind of signing that makes you think if Kuminga does the thing, and we're gonna be good.
Oh, 100%. I agree.
If Kuminga is your backup wing, and this dude is your backup power forward stretch five, man.
Like you gotta look. They just missed that one man fast break, man. I'm telling you, like, dude is a point forward. Like, Belly, high IQ, he could dribble to a shot, dribble to a pass, but this kid is running a break. And I'm not just saying yeah, one turnover, so he's running a break. Nah, he could run the break every single time. Left hand, right hand, left finish, right finish. You know what I mean? Up and under. He got it all.
Lyles in his 8th season.
Yeah, man.
Kentucky, he's bounced around to Utah, Denver, San Antonio.
Bruce, I wanted to ask you too.
What up, G?
Yeah, is that Bruce?
Yeah, what up, G?
Bruce, you don't think if we were to sign a guy like Javonte Green, Kerr plays him over Moody?
I wasn't trolling. I really don't know who that is.
Oh no! I didn't think you were trolling. He's like a smaller wing, 6'5", but played some power forward. He's been on a couple teams. He's been on Bulls, I want to say. I think his last team was the Bulls, actually.
I think whoever the next person is just has to have know-how. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's always the biggest issue for Kerr.
Yeah.
DHO right there, slipped. Boom.
And with Saric and CP understanding each other and understanding the game, it's going to see what I mean. Like,
oh, come on.
He could have easily took that three. He passed the easier pass.
So you know what I will say also? I'll say this, is that his ability to, like you said, make these reads, like, he's very patient. Wow.
Read and react, right?
Read and react. And also, if you watch him as a play finisher, he can make, like, these floaters. Like, these floaters and push shots can be very valuable for us, because look at the space he has. Look at that right there, push shot. See the space that he's, and imagine now him and CP, like, the space he's going to have to operate in is going to give him a lot more freedom to excel with his skill set. So, You know, this is like there's a lot of promise here, for sure.
Yeah.
He can
Yeah,
shoot the
as a
ball.
coming off the bench, I think the dude's got a lot of value, man.
You guys saw
And,
like his ability to just shoot, not just shoot though, but hit those floaters and then make reads, bro. Like he's one-handed with passes off the bounce, like finding guys off of cuts.
here's why he's going to help out too. Think about it. Look how wide open he is at times on a team with truly no spacing.
Right.
And then as soon as you get the ball, somebody has to close out immediately because
Yes.
dude is going to hit that shot 39% last year. So when you look at it from that perspective, him forcing the big men to come out, that's going to help us so much because there's no more sagging in the paint now.
Exactly. Exactly.
Sarge hitting the cutting Kuminga is gonna hit like crack, bro.
Oh my, yeah. It's gonna be like Belly. It's gonna be like Belly 2.0.
Yeah.
Every single
It's gonna
time
be
Sarge,
CP3 and Sarge in a pick and roll, and Kuminga's just gonna cut and get dunked.
just look at every time Sarge gets the ball on the perimeter, and just look at the big man, or just look at somebody hard closing out. So you see how we gave him that three, and Looney
Yep.
had to close out. That even opens up a drive for a Kuminga or whoever, because he's gonna be next to Steph, Clay, Chris Paul. Those are all big shot makers.
He feels more playable in the playoffs than Belly. You know, he just feels like a more playable player. You know, like I don't think
Yeah.
Belly was as playable. You know, I think you can play this guy against the Grizzlies. Belly didn't see a single second against Memphis.
And that's what I was saying. Like Belly was special, but there were some games where, to me, he didn't have much of an impact. I feel like he's more versatile, so I think you can play him in any game, win or lose.
100%. That's off the move, knocking threes down. Yeah, man. I mean, this obviously we wanted this signing to happen the first day of free agency. Didn't happen, but we still got him. We locked it down, and now we gotta get to work. Kuminga third-year leap, hopefully, and get rocking because this is a good addition, man. This is a good solid player. He can make reads. He can shoot. He can rebound a bit, and I think with next to Draymond, he's going to be a positive defender. So,
Oh yeah, it was kind of funny. Most definitely.
that's a really good. It's a really big deal.
Other people had other conversations.
Because honestly, remember we did I did a little playback 3 days ago, and I was breaking down all the remaining free agents, right? And we were breaking down all the remaining centers and power forwards and all that, and it was very clear there aren't many it's very thin and it's very the options are super limited. So this was this had to happen. It kind of did because our options just were thin and we just didn't have enough guys that we could go to. We had Blake Griffin, Paul Reed wasn't even realistic. Bismack Biyombo, just guys that just were heavily flawed. I don't think Saric is that flawed, and I think all of his flaws can be corrected in the right lineups. Honestly, so
What's one of your major knocks on him, Dre?
I think the only couple knocks I would say is as a play finisher. I think there's things he can. He needs to be a little bit sharper, kind of like Belly. I think he misses some chippies sometimes. He does miss some chippies. The other thing I would say is defensively, he's obviously not the quickest, so he may give up some stuff on that end. But I think ultimately, the finishing ability is going to be remedied by playing in space. And I think the defensive limitations are going to be remedied by playing next to Draymond and GP2 and all of them. So, even with his weaknesses, I still think they're correctable.
Me and Bruce was looking at some of his clips earlier, and when dude be calling for the ball, he not looking just to shoot that motherfucker. He looking to make the right play.
Yes.
So
Yes.
if a cutter is open, shit, he gonna pass you the rock. He gonna play
Exactly.
within scheme. So
someone put in here some. Okay, I'll get to that Slater breakdown. I like that Slater breakdown. I'll throw that up in a sec. Yeah, man. If we can get out of all the remaining wings, right? You got guys like Derek Jones Jr. There's some names out there. T.J. Warren. I like Javonte Green personally. Yeah. Let's see this. So yeah, I'm not in favor of any of these dudes, honestly, outside of maybe Javonte. I mean, DJJ's cool. Maybe that works, but I think we need to lean a little bit more shooting in the front court.
What about
And he's in
TJ?
TJ. The thing with TJ is I don't think he can do much else outside of score. And I'd rather have like a guy that can do multiple things, like defend, rebound, like that kind of thing.
Gotcha.
But TJ's nice. He could still be a good addition. I just think he's limited. He's not as versatile as I'd like him to be, unless he could commit to certain things. And maybe we do take a flyer because TJ probably is the most talented player on this list. So, but look at Sarge's activity is something that's good, man. We need this in the second unit. We need a guy that you can play and he can get chippies and be active and be a disruptor. In some ways, just spacing. I mean, Sarge could have played against the Kings, man. He could have easily played against the Kings, against Trey Lyles. He could have easily played against the Lakers, against Wenyen Gabriel when he played in Game 2. Like he could have easily found himself playing certain minutes, certain stretches in the playoffs, even last year. So that was with the pretty flawed roster. So I think there's a lot of potential to be had here. And one thing about him too is you notice like he can get to the free throw line. He's very shifty and crafty, just being able to kind of find little opportunities to draw contact. You know what I'm saying? He's very active player. Steps back, could flare out, pick and pop game, pick and roll game. He can make decisions. Like I can understand what the Warriors are seeing. See that right there? Pump fake, patience, layup. I see what the Warriors are seeing with like the auto comparison. Like Slater wrote in his article like a couple of weeks ago that like they view Saric as like an auto type, like a guy that can kind of be super solid, make sound decisions, shoot the ball. Like I see the vision with that because like I know he's not auto like from a wing standpoint, and he's probably not as good a rebounder. But he can do like the shooting, he can do the playmaking of Otto, and he can probably be a comparable play finisher. So the only thing that he may be lacking in is defense and rebounding a little bit, but you can't have everything, right? But I still think he just is such a positive in so many ways that it doesn't really make a difference. Let me find this Anthony Slater thing because I think that's going to have some value for film. Big Tony. Okay. So Twitter got rid of that bullshit. Like they were trying to restrict like your ability to see stuff. They got rid of that. It's only like a minute long though. All right, let's see. Share screen. Big Tony. All right, let's see this. So this is in the playoffs. This is a couple of years ago against the Clippers. So you see CP and Saric operate pick and pop, knock it down. Right there. Pick and roll. That's too easy. Wow, that's really easy. CP right there. You got Saric trailing. Good cut by Saric. Yep. CP right there. Probing. Above the break. Transition shot. High ball screen. Downhill. Good fake. Easy layup. Yep, pick and pop. And his canter, that's food. So you're seeing here, like, he creates these advantages because he can do multiple things. Finishing right there. This is the fourth quarter, by the way. That was the fourth quarter of a playoff game. High ball screen right there. Flare out. Pick
Dang.
and pop. Yep, good steal right there. It's a great steal. So, I mean, those are some short clips. I know that was a couple of years ago, but, like, you see how he can kind of, pick spots pretty well. Like, his ability to just seal off defenders, cut at the right time, flare out for this, for jumpers. Like, his ability to just pick spots well is a big plus for us because Jamichael just struggled with that. He struggled with. Now, one thing about Sarge is it is kind of like Otto. It is kind of like Otto. You are right. Now, the one thing I would like to get a little bit more insight on is his ability to screen overall. Like, what's his screen setting like? But I will say this. On those, like, he is screening pretty well and flaring out. So it seems to be like he can be a pretty solid screen setter overall. He has a good base. And he understands the pick and pop game pretty well. So the game, like, his ability to just, like I said, fill in the gaps where he's needed. And I think there's a lot, like, in Phoenix, they didn't have like a Kuminga type. Like, Mikal Bridges was good, and he's a guy that can kind of shoot the ball, put the ball on the floor. He does his own thing. But, like, I'm talking about, like, a real slashing forward that could just 45 cut to the rim, baseline cut. And I feel like Sarge can be a guy that, like, those, like, tic-tac-toe plays where, Draymond has the ball in advantage situations, and then it's like you find a big who throws it up for the lob, and that's an easy dunk. Like, stuff like that. Sarge can easily find Kuminga. Exactly. He can make that extra pass. Exactly, Cash. Like, he can make that extra pass. Like, he can find guys for lob threats, baseline, guys cutting to the rim. Like, there's so much potential here, and it goes beyond. And here's the thing. There isn't going to be that much of a learning curve. Like, it's not like he's going to come in and it's going to take, like, a couple months to figure it out. Like, I think he's going to kind of be acclimated pretty quickly. Because he's played in some motion concepts throughout his basketball career. So his ability to, like, to just find spots in the motion, that's already at a pretty solid level. So there really isn't much acclimation to be done. I only think, he may need to learn some patterns and sets and stuff, but that's okay because, I mean, even Belly needed to learn that a bit. But you saw even day one, Belly was just slicing dudes up. Remember, like, that game against the Lakers opening night? He just looked comfortable from day one. So I can see, like, Dario to me can be better than Belly. He can be better than Belly, which I think is a big deal. Because Belly was
I think he is better than that right now.
for sure, yeah, for sure, yeah. And I think in our system we can bring more out of him because I think he's more solid in certain areas. Maybe you could argue Belly was a better playmaker, but Dario's probably 70-80% of what Belly was, something like that, 70%. Rebounding, I would give the edge to Dario. Defense, I'd give the edge to Dario. Shooting, I would say it's a coin toss. Finishing, I would say, maybe slight edge to Dario. Like, I think this is a very good signing overall. And I would say that the defense, I think Dario could play a dude like Rui pretty well. I'm not saying he'd lock Rui up, but he could guard Rui, I think, at a decent level. Because Rui's not getting by you like that. Like, Rui's going to be a guy that kind of operates in the mid-post, kind of, faces up. He's like a face-up type of guy. Face up, kind of off the bounce. He's not getting by you to the rim. So Dario has enough foot speed at 6'10" to, like, stay in front of a guy like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, his foot speed is actually not too bad. He just can't stay in front of, like, guards. You know what I'm saying? Or, like, strong wings. But I think he can do a good job against, like, really big wings or, like slower-footed bigs. You know what I'm saying? Or guys that are, like, hybrids that can that operate on the perimeter. I think he could move his feet well enough and stay attached to them, make it tough. And he puts in effort. Like, that's the other thing. You can't question his motor. His motor's there. And by the way, he's gonna be playing for a payday this year. Like, I kind of said this in Spaces, but he's gonna be playing for a payday. So don't expect him to like return. I don't think he's coming back. Like, I think he's gonna play well. I think he's gonna make some money, and I think he's gonna go somewhere else next year. Hopefully, we win a title, and he's gonna get a bag, bro. He's probably gonna get like 3 years, 27 million, something like that. You know what I'm saying? Dante got 4 years, 50. So Dario might get 3 years, 36 or something. 3 years, 27, something. I could see it. Yeah, he might get the full MLE for sure.
Let me ask you this here, Dre.
Yeah, what's up?
He gonna be like Mo Spates?
He'll be better. He'll be better than Mo Buckets. Yeah,
Mo
100%.
Buckets. Yeah, see. Mo Buckets gave us, what did Mo average in 15, 16?
I would say around like 8 points, 9 points, something like that.
Oh, I can see him stroking it too, man. Pause, but he can stroke it from the outside.
Yeah.
So I look
you're
for him
right.
to
And
be
Mo
somewhere
Buckets,
around there.
it's a shame. Mo Buckets would have been crazy in this era. He would have been really good. Let me see what else. I wish there was more film to look at. I can try to find. There might be some like people that upload more film as the days go on, but he can. We all kind of have an idea of what he can do.
Let me ask you this, Dre.
What's up?
So out of the remaining free agents, who do you think we should get to fill out that extra spot?
Yeah, I think Javonte Green is the guy I'm looking at, because even though he's a little undersized at 6'5", he's an athlete. He's a 90th percentile athlete. He's an energy guy. He could run the floor. He could shoot at a 37% clip. He could rebound at a decent level. He hustles. He's a guy that can fill in the gaps, and he can defend decently. So, like, I don't think there's any available. Like, this is my thing. Torrey Craig, to me, is a guy that could have been like a playoff guy, because he can literally play in the playoffs. Like, we've seen him play in the playoffs and be a good, solid contributor. So my opinion is, based on who's available, I don't think there's any players available right now that can be a consistent, reliable playoff contributor. But I do think they can still be solid for us in the regular season. So a guy like Javonte Green, I don't see Derrick Jones Jr. being like a playoff guy. I don't see TJ Warren being a playoff guy for us. Like, I just don't think he can I don't think he can defend or rebound at a good enough level. But if you tell me he can, then I would look at TJ Warren. But my thing is with Javonte, if we're gonna go with the guy that is gonna be more of a regular season player, then give me Javonte, because Javonte is a great play finisher, and there is a potential. Maybe he can play like 5 to 10 minutes in a series. There is some spot minutes possibly there, right? Like, there's only a couple dudes that I would trust even playing 5 or 10 minutes in the playoffs, because every possession, every minute, every second counts in the playoffs, and you have to maximize who's around you. You have to maximize the lineups you play out there, and the minutes you're playing, like, especially in the non-Steph minutes. You can't just throw dudes out there. You got to make sure that they're competent and capable. So for me, it'd be Javonte. TJ Warren, I'm not opposed, but I'd prefer a guy that can defend and just rebound and do, like, a little bit more scrappy. To me, I think that's a better fit for
So what do you
we
think
need.
about Chris Wood, though?
Christian Wood, I don't think we need him. I think Saric is better for what we need.
RJ, we're talking about backups here, fam. Relax.
Yeah,
we're talking about the bench squad here.
Yeah.
Honestly, and I'm trying to like make a case internally for Moody, but if we were to sign a guy like Javonte who legit can play like 3 positions, or at least guard 3 positions, I don't even like. I wonder what kind of value I can get out of Moody. Like, to be honest with you, if a team was like, "Hey, we'll give you a 2024 first for Moody and a second round pick," I might do that shit if we were to sign somebody like that.
If Torrey Craig
I
is
don't
your
think
eighth,
any team is doing that at this point right now.
if Torrey Craig is your eighth man, you're winning the championship.
Yeah.
But that's the point. Like,
Yeah.
the dude was starting on a team that flamed out in the second round.
Yeah.
If he slots down 3 spots, you're winning the title. Just so you know. You tell me like he slots down 3 spots and he's coming off the bench, that's a title team.
Dude, this is not a Moody can't play take stand. It's more of a like, if we sign somebody like that, who's playing? Like, is Moody playing? Is Javonte? I don't know.
Yeah, right? I'll put Javonte up. I think he kind of rounds out our roster.
That's kind of what I'm thinking is like, it's not a Moody can't play thing because, and I also think as the roster is currently constructed, Moody's going to have to get his minutes at shooting guard because now
it's a great cut. That's a great cut, man.
We've got Wiggins, Kuminga, and GP2 who are your wing defenders, and I do think Moody can do some of that, but he's got to get stronger. Yeah, I think the minutes are at shooting guard right now for him.
Yeah. So what do you guys see? Do you think how many minutes do you anticipate Kuminga and Moody playing next year though? Because I don't know. Like, Steve Kerr is very unpredictable, you know.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
It's like, because I want to see them play at least 20, 23, 24 minutes in the regular season. Come postseason time, we can let what they've done in the regular season dictate that or decide that. But, you know, I just want to see them play at least 25 minutes a game. You know, both of them, at least 20 minutes. I can't have them playing under 20 minutes because, you know.
I would love Moody to get like 15 minutes.
So
that's good defense right there by Saric. I know they called a foul, but I'm not mad at that.
I mean, if he does that, I don't see Moody or Kuminga re-signing with the team in the long term.
He's coming off the bench. So do people not understand like rotations? Is that what we're struggling with? So, and I think sometimes people misunderstand excitement.
All right, these are some Javonte Green highlights if people want to see.
Because Dario's not going to be the difference between like a championship or not, but it is. Dario does give you some like
it's margin
counter
margin for him.
Yeah. He does give you some counter stuff and versatility off the bench, which we lacked, by the way. That we just hadn't had before, because I low key think he's gonna be better than Belly. That's a quick ban. Bye.
That dude's hilarious. You're not taking me down,
nice.
Bro. I own this platform, bro.
Solid during the regular season, though.
Dude, this guy can be a legit. I'm telling you, Javonte Green can be a legit like energy dude off the bench. He's a positive, like.
Bro,
he's just a scrappy player.
This is what I'm saying. This is not like a no. He's literally listed at 6'5", bro. He plays way above his height.
Yeah, look at him box out. Like, he just is super. And this is a guy that I would look at because I know TJ's like a vet and he's like a scorer or whatever. But like, I'd rather have a guy that's like active like this that can just give us a boost where it's needed.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, this is not an anti-Moody thing. Is if we were to sign a guy like this, who do you think Kerr plays? Setting screens here. He's clearly stronger. That's the thing too. Is I don't think Moody lacks the defensive chops or even the shooting. Like, we've seen Moody hit shots. It's when you look at why PBJ was traded. I think part of the reason PBJ was traded was because of the strength at the point of attack. Because I like PBJ a lot. Moody, I want to see him get stronger, and if he's not, again, I think his minutes are going to be best suited at guard. And if we were to sign a dude like this, I see him playing over Moody. That's just my thing. I like Moody a lot. I just see this dude playing more than him. Moody. I don't think Moody's a small forward unless he literally puts on like 10, 15 pounds. I don't think he can play small.
So you see him as a two guard instead of a small forward.
Yeah. I don't think he can't guard shooting guards, but again, my point is like he's got to get stronger, and Javante's just stronger,
The
bro.
thing is, I don't think Steve Kerr thinks that though.
Well, we're gonna find out. I hope he plays, and I hope he kills it, man. I really do. I hope he plays. I
Yeah,
hope he kills it.
I
If
hope
we were to
this. I
sign a
hope
dude like
both of
this,
them
though, I'm
play.
like, bro, get
Him and
Who's the
first
Kaminga.
guy
round
we
pick
should get?
next year if we can.
RJ, who's the guy we should get? You want Derek Jones? Okay, then you're gonna sign a guy that can't shoot. We already have GP2. Who's the guy? Who's the guy? Tell me the guy. Tell me the guy.
You just gotta. That's my thing. Is like if you're gonna say no, don't be the chick that's like when you ask where do you want to eat, they go I don't know, and when you make a suggestion, they go no I don't want that. don't be that person.
DJJ is literally known for his defense. Yeah, no shit. So and so is GP2 and so is Kaminga. We need a guy that can fill in the gaps.
Yeah,
There's no reason for DJJ to be on the roster if we have guys that can already do what he does. Like the reason Javante can actually could be like a good player for us because he can run the floor, he can rebound, he can shoot. Like he just does multiple things. DJJ can only do a couple of things.
You think he would take? Okay, so here's the unfortunate reality. If you think this dude takes Kaminga's minutes instead of Moody's, then my point is it remains the same. Because I think he takes Moody's minutes and that Moody's probably have more value in a trade than being on the team. If he takes Kaminga's minutes and not Moody's, I would literally say trade Kaminga while you can. Because y'all know he's due for an extension after this season, right?
both of them are.
You know what's
Both of
funny
them
though? I don't even think Javante would take their minute. Like here's my thing. Let's say Derek Jones Jr. is better. It doesn't neither of these signings would be the difference between a championship or not. Like that ship has sailed. Like
Yeah.
to me, it's just sign a wing for insurance, sign a wing for just depth.
Yeah.
The ship of because to me that was Torrey Craig. The guy that moves the needle off the bench would have been Torrey Craig. But that ship has sailed. It didn't happen. So that means to me, if you look at who's available, none of these dudes move the needle like that. There's just no way Javante Green or Derek Jones are going to be playoff pieces like that. Now, maybe they'll play spot minutes. That's your hope. My hope is if we do sign one of these guys, that they'll be at least maybe a 5-minute contributor in the playoffs. If we can just get a couple of minutes out of them, that would be cool. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just at that point, it's just not gonna matter, bro. I mean,
yeah. So here's my thing, right? I know this might sound dumb, but I wouldn't mind trading for Otto Porter again. I wouldn't mind having him back on the team.
Oh, who? JTA, you said?
No, Otto Porter
Otto
Jr.
Porter.
Otto Porter? Oh, of course.
I wouldn't mind that, honestly.
That's not dumb at all. That's
I really
That's
thought
it.
about this for a while. I would really like to have him back if it means getting involved in a 3-team trade with the Dame thing, and because I
If I
think
can
when
get Otto
healthy,
Porter,
he's
bro, I would
really.
get Otto Porter easily.
I don't think the Warriors would do it, but if they actually did have a chance, I
Okay,
would
so
do that 100.
so Moody, would you guys do this? Moody, 2nd-round pick, and the PBJ trade exception. I know Lindell was floating those.
For who? For Otto Porter?
So here's the issue
Yeah.
with that. Here's the issue
Absolutely.
with that. I do believe we are now over the second apron.
Uh-huh.
So even
Okay, so then
with the TPE, we can't take more salary back until we get under that number, and that's why this is why ultimately I think Moody stays. I'm not sure if there's another signing outside of Vet Min that's going to happen, or unless there is a trade that happens. Because if there's a trade that happens that gets us under the apron, and again,
right.
it's Clay. Because Wiggins is not it, by the way.
No.
To
That'd be a
upgrade
mistake.
off of Wiggins, and I've heard that name floated, bro. I don't think people understand. This dude's making $24 million next
Unless it's Giannis or some shit, and
bro.
that's
and
who they
even,
want.
Even Giannis, I ran the numbers on Giannis, and
Yep.
I've heard some rumors that we're probably going to get some money back from the league, and we have $7 million, I think, in cash considerations. Bro, I've done the numbers already. It would have to be Looney, GP2, Wiggins, Kaminga, and Moody to even get to that 45 million number.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? Wiggins has one of the most valuable contracts in the league at 24 million.
Let me ask you guys
100%
this
agree.
too.
Yeah, him making
you're-
24 million in this, I mean, yeah, that's a bargain. I don't know how they
I don't
managed to
know
pull
much
that off.
about Javante from a personality standpoint, but like,
What's up, everybody?
what's up, Jay?
Hey, Bruce. So,
But-
so you really like that picture, Bruce, or were you trolling me?
Why everybody think Bruce is trolling, bro?
Because Bruce always trolls. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, Wiggins is not it, bro. This is why, God, dude, this is why Clay's been on my radar this whole time. But I just don't think they're going to move Clay either.
So Dre, did you understand what I was saying in Spaces?
No, yeah, I agree with most of your points. I mean, sure. I mean, I don't think we're not the favorites. The West is wide open.
Yeah. It's the fact. Here's what my concern is. If I was a fan of the team, or I'm looking at the roster, and if I was looking at it from the outside, right? What my concern would be is it's the fact. So there's two things you can't be. You could either be athletic, super athletic, right? But I just don't know if you could be super athletic in a small team, and I still think your team is small and not as athletic as you need to be. If you're a small team and you're super athletic, you can get by with that. And I think there's just a lack of.
What if you're an athletic team but dumb as shit?
Well, there's plenty of those teams in the league.
Well, I think y'all are one of them.
No, we're not a dumb team though.
I mean, you got dumber.
How do we get dumber?
You got. Hey, look.
Wait.
Money.
So this is interesting.
Money.
So Lindell,
you got more
this
size,
is interesting. This is what interesting. You're pointing out the 10th and 11th guys on the roster, and not the guys they actually replaced, which is kind of interesting. So this is where it's like where I go that's a false argument, right? You're looking at Hayes and Cam, which I don't know how much time they're going to get. But if you're talking about Torian Prince, I don't think he's a dumb player.
So if we were,
and I don't think Vincent's
if we
a dumb
upgrade
player.
size at the 10th and 11th spot, it doesn't move the needle. So you're saying we need to get bigger and more athletic immediately off the bench.
Yes, that's what I mean.
Okay, so Chris Paul is your upgrade over Jordan Poole, so that's kind of like a wash. So you're talking about somebody in addition to Jonathan Kuminga.
In addition to Jonathan Kuminga, for sure.
This is why I'm an advocate for guys like Javante. Like, he doesn't have the size, but he's got the athleticism.
Yes.
And why, if you can make the money work, it's just probably more efficient to trade Moody.
That's what I'm saying. You kind of have to like because I don't look at Moody as an athletic player, right?
No.
I just don't, right?
I know. I don't either.
Right. So it's kind of like you want him to be. That's why I look at, and then I look at Sark. I don't think Sark fits a mold, but he fits a system mold, so to speak, right? Where he's not a plus defender. I don't think so. But he does, but he does fit something. Right?
Well, the playmaking is there. I think their shot making there. I do think with us, you talk about being a system guy. I do think with us, he's going to be a better team defender than he has been in the past. I'm really curious to see what they're going to do in the next week or so. Because
well, hold on. This is
DC, hold on. I want to say something to DC. I want to say something to DC real quick. DC, I'd rather have Vince start, right, than D'Lo.
So according to The Athletic, Chris Paul was a quote-unquote vocal fan of the Warriors trying to sign Saric. So it sounds like there was some involvement as by the way, Shadow was saying this. Shadow batted 50, right? He batted 50. He said Torrey and Saric were a lock. Torrey took a little bit of time, didn't end up coming over, but Saric ended up coming. So batted 50, not too bad though. I mean,
well, you know what's funny? You know what's funny, Dre? We put Saric on a list in playback before it ever got on the timeline. Like from actual outlets, we put Saric on a list.
100%.
So, yeah, I mean, yeah. To answer DC's question, DC, I'd rather just play. I'd rather have Vincent play, and I don't think D'Lo's in the cards by the trade deadline. I think that's who's going to get traded. It's kind of like automatic. I think that's going to happen. So, getting him at 18, getting D'Lo at $18 million is crazy. I just want to let you know, like, how good of a contract it is.
It's if he plays, it's super value, and if it's also very tradable.
Yeah, very tradable.
If he performs, it becomes a really cheap deal, and if you want to move on from him, it becomes extremely tradable.
So I kind of want him to play kind of well, right?
Yeah.
I don't want him to play bad. I want him to play just well enough because I know that he's not really in their future plans. It's clear, like he's the only person that really didn't get like a 3-year deal or anything. Did you notice that? It was like, hey, we'll give you this deal, and then you have a player option because we're giving you that because you're letting us because basically he's allowed to get traded, so he agreed to that basically. Yeah. So if he gets traded, but he has a player option if he wants.
So we ended up getting, according to the list that we all made collaboratively, we ended up getting one tier 2 guy, and I would say Corey Joseph probably is tier 4, tier 5, probably tier 5. So we'll say tier 2, tier 5. Hopefully we can get like a tier 3-ish guy with Javante. But hey, I mean, look. The tier 1 dudes are going to be tough to get. Yuta was going to go to Phoenix. That's fine. Jay was going to stay in Milwaukee. Okay. Torrey was the one that I kind of wanted. Didn't happen. But we did get a tier 2 guy. Almost everyone on this list stayed with their teams, though. Like
so
Jay stayed with the Bucks.
Torrey was worried he wasn't going to get PT.
No, yeah. That makes sense. That's fair.
Or he just didn't know what was going to happen because he didn't know he was confused about what they were going to do with. I don't know.
Yeah, no, I know it was it's unfortunate, but it didn't happen.
Somebody asked me a question. SoCal, you still have D'Lo and AD is always to say LeBron is LeBron. See, the thing is, I think that the chat is, or what people are understanding. I'm not saying the Lakers are favorites to win the title, and they get upset that they're not actually listening to what I'm saying.
The chat does operate in extremes sometimes.
You guys are very extreme, everybody. Very extreme.
That's why when I'll provide pushback on marginal players, I hate that I have to do that because I've been doing this since Belly. And guys like that because people will go.
So I'll just give you an example. So Lindell, basically Torian Prince replaced Troy Brown, right? And I think that's an upgrade. That's an upgrade. And basically, and Troy Brown got a number of minutes, right? Obviously, you watched him play last year. He got a number of minutes from us. And then, Vincent, basically is an upgrade. Slight upgrade for over Dennis because I think they play the same kind of defense, that kind of thing. But the biggest thing is Dennis would just pound the fuck out of that basketball.
Yeah.
Pound the crap out of it, right? And if you go back and watch that Denver series, like that was the issue too, right? Like they had to have Dennis out there, right? And he just couldn't do anything. He just couldn't do nothing like that you needed to do, particularly for that series. I don't think he played bad. He just wasn't the fit there.
Papa Giannis off the table. I hope so. I mean, Saric is probably better.
I think we're both. I think we're both just kind of like between.
I think this guy, a guy like this who can cut to the rim. I don't know. Even Javante could. He might be a real playoff guy for 5 minutes. Like you give him 5 minutes, and he can give you 2 rebounds and a couple.
Neither.
Couple good.
I hate both of them. Dylan, I don't like either one of them. I think they're both frauds. That's my answer.
I think we should go after Javante. I like his ability to slash. He's fast. He's athletic. I don't know. Derrick Jones wouldn't be bad either.
Plays way above his size.
Derrick Jones would not be bad either, but I don't know. I just think the shooting concerns me. This guy can shoot at least a little bit, and he can score. He can put the ball on the floor, and he can score just a little bit. Yeah, but I expect probably another signing to happen within the next. I mean, I basically predicted the Sarge thing would happen within the next 3 days from Friday, or no, not Friday, from Wednesday. I think it was.
I think they're tied for ass. Hold on, I just think they're both tied. They both have 4 chips. They're tied. There you go. That's my answer.
So I would expect another signing within the next 4-ish days, 96
I don't
hours.
like. I just don't like. But I don't particularly. I really just don't like the fan bases, guys. I'm going to be real answer.
Javonte Green is 6'4", no more midgets. I mean, okay, then I don't know. You want a guy that can't shoot? Then we can sign a guy that can't shoot. Then I don't want to hear complaints.
Lindell, I don't think they really realize I'm being truthful when I say this about both players.
I think honestly they're just looking for something to argue with you about.
Okay.
TJ Warren, I don't think he's as versatile as we need him to be.
Yeah. All right. So here's what I would say. Real talk. Okay. About this, the fact that Steve Kerr just won't take a flyer on Christian Wood is crazy to me.
Yes.
I just don't understand.
We don't know if it's won't, but I agree. Yes.
I know how the SoCal J stand is crazy. Somebody changed their name. Anyway, no, it is a no.
Someone brought up the prospect.
I will just say what Sam said. Sam Spinelli. Because people keep bringing it up to him. He's like 0.1%.
It's so annoying, dude.
He's so not a Steve.
It's annoying though, because I'm like, bro, just put athletes in a position to put the ball in the basket and defend. It's not complicated.
He's not a good defender, okay? But here's what I would tell you, right? Here's what I would say. You put Christian out there, okay? I'm going to say, be honest with you. You put Christian Wood next to Draymond, he's better than Saric.
Bro.
Yeah.
He's better than Saric.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think I can disagree with you. I do think Saric has a little bit more playmaking ability, but I agree as far as rim pressure, attacking the basket.
Just pure scoring.
Pure scoring. Pure scoring from a spot next to Draymond makes Draymond more effective.
Yeah.
That's fair. And Christian Wood would also make Draymond's life easier as a scorer. He basically could score. Kevon Looney just can't score. It's kind of sort of thing.
I would love to see how that works out if Christian Wood goes to Miami, because I don't think he'll last long.
No, that's not going to work.
Because let me tell you guys right now, that reminds me of who's that other center they used to have that they kicked out of there, that they gave that money to?
Oh, Dwayne Dedman. You mean Hassan Whiteside?
Hassan Whiteside. Exactly. Yeah, they'll fucking kick his ass out, bro, like they did him. I mean, they had this. By the way, they both definitely had the same kind of mentality. That's
crazy, bro.
Both, if you
look at Hassan Whiteside had the most disproportionate "I'm him" mentality of any player I've ever seen.
Christian Wood is kind of like that, bro. He kind of is like that,
bro. He was crazy.
Christian Wood, when he was perfect when he was on Houston, because he was just cutting people up offensively, but did nothing on the defensive end.
Bro,
he would go at AD and score all these points, and I'm thinking but we're beating them, even with that sorry ass team that we had.
So someone said thoughts on Wesley Matthews, shooter and elite defender, also a veteran. The thing is, he's kind of old. He's 37 years old.
Yeah, I don't know if he's an elite defender anymore either.
How tall is he? What is he, 6'5", 6'4"? Maybe not. Maybe he's 6'3". I don't know. The Devon Reed, Devon Reed actually I think could be good.
Wait,
yes.
So Rayvon, correct. He's never been an elite defender. You were accurate about that.
I think he's a decent defender. But elite, maybe not elite.
He's long gone.
He plays a lot smaller than his height, by the way. I'll just put it.
Well, what is he, 6? He's listed at 6'5". Okay, he is 6'5".
He's more like 6'4".
So yeah, he's probably
he plays smaller than
kind of a guard.
Yeah,
I feel like he's a guard. Yo, let me say this, guys. If Reggie Bullock gets bought out, I would look at him, because I don't know is there a better player than him right now out there. I know Jay doesn't like Reggie, but who's better? But who is? I don't know.
You guys need You need one fucking guy that's gonna go get is dirty. You need a dirty player.
Javonte.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Javonte can rebound.
How big is Javonte? How tall is he?
6'5".
He's 6'5". But here's the thing, though. He's very. But you just said, okay. Would you rather have a 6'7" player with a low motor or a 6'5" player?
You know what I'd rather have on your team? Biombo. I'd rather go get that fucking guy and have him on your team. I'm serious.
We got Saric.
No, man. I'm serious. I'd rather if you get Saric and him, like if that's who you guys got, I would be like, hey, that's a good combination there. Seriously.
It'd be decent. I agree. I
That's
think
what I'm saying. If that's a good pickup, you go get Saric, right? And then you go pick him up. And now you got a guy that's a rim protector that's better than Looney at that.
right.
Oh, I'll take
Right.
Biombo. Hold on. I actually want him on my team. What are you talking about?
I know. Some Lakers fans do want him.
Yeah, I want him on the team because he fits a role. He fits a specific role on your team. Like
Right.
you're getting you can go and say, all right, Looney, we want to rest Looney a little bit more tonight, right? Go out there and do this.
Jay, is he the 12th or 13th guy?
13th. He would be the 14th guy, actually.
14th.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So you'd be excited if the Lakers signed Bismack?
I wouldn't be like, what do you mean, excited?
We got Biombo! Yeah.
For a 14th man?
Jesus Christ.
Oh, man.
Nah, Biombo would be cool. I just think right now we need a wing, personally, first and foremost.
I wouldn't be upset, but if I was a fan of your team, I wouldn't be upset if that's who you
No,
guys got.
I wouldn't be upset.
I would be like, oh, this is good. This is fine.
Well, let me tell you this. If we get Biombo, do you know what that tells me? That tells me that we're shifting a little bit to the Chris Paul thing. We're kind of buying into his.
Yeah.
Saric to me is like a compromise. Saric is like a compromise. It's like you play with CP for a year and a half. He can do some pick and pop, whatever. But he's also like a motion guy. Like there's some compromise there. Biombo would be full CP, like full Chris Paul leaning in, like pick and roll, diving to the rim, play finisher. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because that's kind of how they used him in Phoenix. So, it's just it'd be an interesting.
Okay, so this is when you say stuff like this, Dre. You know what it tells me? Like there's some stuff about. I just realize how as Clay gets older, how fucking limited he is.
Oh, he is.
I don't want to talk about it, bro.
Fucking limited he is, man.
Stanley Johnson.
Now I can go after Jay because at least
I like
Jay's
Stanley.
a Laker fan. Y'all can
I
go
think
after
Stanley's
Jay.
probably one of the better options. I mean, the thing about Winslow is he gets injured every year, and he's just it's bad, really bad. He just doesn't play any games. He's a very good defender and he's a solid playmaker. Winslow just can't score. He's a really bad scorer, and he just gets hurt. But really, the main thing is with Stanley Johnson. I think Stanley Johnson could be a good fit because he can cut, he can shoot a little bit, and he can rebound and defend. He can, and as a third stringer on a winning team, I think he'd be willing to embrace that role. Maybe not, but he's going to be still making the money. And by the way, I'd rather have a guy that's like Javante, who's happy to be in the NBA, than a guy in a way, there's players that think that would be pouting if they didn't get minutes, right? You saw, remember Jermichael? Jermichael said on the podium, he's like, yeah, I was kind of frustrated that I wasn't playing out there. I just wasn't getting opportunity. He said that mid-season. And he should be frustrated, obviously. It's his career and he's playing whatever. He should want to play. But I'm just saying that there's a balance because then it creates a little friction and sometimes guys can't play. So Javante to me would be a guy that's look, I may get 7 straight DMPs, but the one night that I play 15 minutes, I'm going to make the most out of those 15 minutes. I'm going to get a couple dunks. I'm going to have a putback. I'm going to get a few rebounds, hit a 3, and defend my ass off. And I think a guy like that could be cool, to have. It's kind of like JTA almost, where you have a guy that's just, out there and he's playing hard and he's energetic and he's changing the tide and he's a guy that gets you through the regular season.